Welcome. I'm DMJ, and I'm the one calling shots here today. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the Vodkast Does Dungeons & Dragons. I'm your host, as always, DMJ. Now, today, what I want to talk about is call shots. This is something that's been removed from 5th edition way back in 2014. But back in 2nd edition, my players used to use it all the time. And even as a DM, I used to use it all the time. So we're going to get into some of the fine details of that. But later on, we're actually going to do an extended episode with my friend Todd, my friend Jim, and my friend Artie. And we're going to go into some of the ideas that they had, because they had some really good ideas. But for now, let's go over how I handle call shots in my game. So briefly, I just want to talk about the history of it. Now, when I first started playing Dungeons & Dragons, I was playing 2nd edition, and call shot was a great feature. And the way it worked, if I'm not mistaken, is you get a -4 to your attack, but you get to double your damage. I think in some editions, too, maybe you got max damage, or that might have been a house rule from a game that I played in. However, when I think about called shots, I think about the intentions of call shots. Usually when a player wants to make a call shot, they know that they can pump up so much damage into the shot that they're going to kill the target that they're aiming for. Now, that's one of the rules that I do not allow in my game, unless it fits the setting that we're in, or the reason why we're doing what we're doing, or the reason why they called the call shot. And if it makes sense, I'll let them use it. Regular enemies, I have no problem with that, but as far as like my bosses go, I don't want my players to be able to take out a boss in one hit. It's just not fair. And so I see in some ways why 5th edition did decide to remove it. However, there are still uses of it in the game, even though they're not call shot. Like if you go with sharpshooter, I believe you can take a penalty to your attack to add damage. And the other one is, I think, greater weapon master or something like that. And they've kind of taken the place of call shot in the game if you choose to take those feats. So the way I'm going to handle it in 5th edition now, because a few weeks ago in my game, it came up that somebody said I missed call shots, or my friend, I think it was Cal. Yeah, the druid. My friend Artie plays him, and he brought up he wanted to make a call shot, and someone said something like, oh, they don't do that in 5th edition anymore. I can't remember the exact scenario and how it played out, but I thought, you know what? I want to house rule this, because this is something that's always been a part of my games. I really enjoy it as a part of the game, because there's more than one use for using it too. Like I was talking about their intentions, the fact that you could just be wanting to trip somebody up, or maybe you want to, hit a purse out of someone's belt pouch or something like that. There's a lot of good reasons to use call shot, not just in combat. However, normally it is used in combat. So in my game, I also created a feat, but the feat is called Call Shot, and it does what I said earlier. It gives you a -4 to your attack, but it doubles your damage. And you can only use it once per target, per combat. So if you're fighting something and you hit it with a called shot, you're going to get its attention, and you're not going to be able to make another called shot. Now, the question I have for you guys as I'm working up this feat and writing it up, would you allow melee as well as ranged? This is something I'm on the fence about, because my friend Chris does a lot of, or used to do a lot of SEA stuff. He knows a lot about hand-to-hand combat with swords, axes, shields, so on and so forth, and doing it in heavy armor. And he made a great point where he said, if you're in the throes of battle, trying to hit accurately at a spot without getting hit yourself and still defending yourself, like, it's really hard. Now, of course, we're talking about Dungeons & Dragons, a world that, dragons and goblins exist in. And as far as I know, they don't live in this world. Well, maybe they do. I have a really strong theory about dragons, and I have a very strong theory about fairies. I'll tell you about them in another episode. But for now, let's get back to the call shot. Disarming is another great use for call shot. For example, if you want to have a conversation with somebody who just wants to fight, I think if you can make that shot, knock it out of their hands, you definitely don't even need the damage. All you have to do is knock the sword out of their hands, and you've got their attention. So that was another purpose for it. Another idea that I had too was using advantage, disadvantage, or even inspiration to fuel the call shot. So if you don't have inspiration, you can't take the call shot. Maybe if you use call shot and you have inspiration, it's only a -2 to attack. It's just some theories that I've been coming up with, some ideas that I'd like to share with you guys. See what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments below. And the advantage, disadvantage, I don't think there'd ever be a situation where you're making a call shot at advantage unless you've got a surprise. And then And I think in that case, maybe you'd get advantage plus the call shot. So, those numbers would eventually even themselves out. But disadvantage also makes a lot of sense to me too. And I haven't implemented it into my new feat that I'm creating here, but I'm thinking it could be something that could be useful. Like if you choose to take disadvantage on the attack, then you only have to take the -2 or something like that. But I've really been drawn into this. And like I said, really soon I'm going to sit down with a few people and you're going to get a really interesting take on it from very different perspectives on how they would handle it. And I like some of their ideas a lot and I might incorporate them. But before I went too far, I definitely wanted to reach out to you, my friends and my watchers of the Vodkast. I really hope you guys are enjoying watching these, by the way. If you are, if you'd consider subscribing to the channel, that would be a huge help-a-rooney for me. And I guess that's going to wrap it up for now. I just want to give you guys my take on called shots and using it in 5th edition. I think it's completely acceptable, especially nowadays. It feels like house rules are just so easy to integrate. Like, you can be done on the fly. Like, if you come to a situation in your game where you find that a house rule would be better than the existing rule, from that day forth, all you have to do is use that rule. Like, and that's what I love about Dungeons and Dragons and its flexibility and its ability to do what it, draws people together. And we talk about stuff like this, and we love to listen to stuff like this, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. But don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier and a little bit geekier together as one, singing and dancing in the sun and the rain, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love. But never let your inner child die. Ooh-wee. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, for they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one has told you today that they love you, the Vodcast loves you very much, just the way you are. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodcast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road to 50. Take care, my friends, and happy adventuring.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.